Good morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me today on Sigma Sunday. So it's a new year, new me. Not for me. I plan on being the exact same trash panda I have been my whole life. Works out pretty well at this point. But I have some really, maybe, hopefully some good information, some good news. So who am I? My name is Rebecca Sonnenberg. I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I am here to see if I can help make you a better business owner, a better entrepreneur, better leader, I don't know, maybe a better human. So, talking about new year, new me. I know as a business owner and even just as a therapist, the amount of times that people come to me in a few months and they're super disappointed with the results of their resolutions and they feel crappy about themselves and crappy about their progress. So I personally am not a big make resolutions kind of person. I think it's okay to make goals. I think it's smart to make them attainable. I think trying to lose 100 pounds in 6 months can be dangerous for a lot of people. So being mindful of realistically what's possible, where you're at and who you are. But one of the things that I found really interesting last year, right towards the end of the year, I read a book called The 12-Week Year. I read it on purpose at the end of the year to kind of like see if it was something I wanted to use in this new upcoming year. For me, there were lots of things I found pretty fascinating. I think for a lot of people, this actually might be pretty cool. It's up to you. Everybody obviously is very different, so it just kind of depends on what works for you and what might not. So let's talk about the 12-week year. What's cool about this book is that it actually gives you quite a few prompts and it gives you tools and ways to actually make this happen. But the goal is that you make your goals 12 weeks long, and that's it. That's it, 12 weeks. So when you think about that, that's 3 months. That to me is way more likely and way more attainable, especially as a business owner. I think the amount of things that you have to constantly be pivoting with, being ready to be flexible with, especially if you're in a business like I am that deals with humans, that causes you to be very versatile and you have to be on your toes a lot. So a whole year of planning a goal could be really unlikely. Whereas 12 weeks, that's pretty attainable. So the book gives you ways to like pick the things that you want to work on. Obviously, this doesn't have to do with business. You can also make it personal. If you want to lose weight, maybe you just want to like get better at journaling, or you want to be more time conscious with your family, things like that. So it gives you ideas on how to like sit down and talk about like not only what these goals are, but why they're important to you. And to me, I think that was kind of the kicker for me. Because again, right, we like have a tendency to make these goals and because we think we need to, or we think that's the way it's supposed to be. And then as like a few weeks go in and it doesn't fit you and it isn't something you're passionate about and isn't something you actually even give 5 shits about, it falls to the wayside very quickly. And I think 12 weeks with the ability to sit with it and say, yeah, you know why? I want to be healthier. It's not because I want to be an Instagram model. It's because I want to live long enough to see my kids get married. Things like that. So it sits down with you. It has you really look at why do you want these goals? Why are they important to you? And then you spend the 12 weeks doing the goals. And it talks about having periodic like check-ins, whether you do it with yourself or whether you do it with like maybe a buddy, and checking in on like, how's this going? Where am I struggling? What areas am I having a hard time with? And then you use the 13th week to really evaluate. How did it go? Giving yourself grace if it didn't go well, which I think is a huge, huge deal. When people make resolutions, when people even make goals, the likelihood if they don't go well, that you are being kind and you are being generous to yourself is slim to none, which then just makes it harder and harder for you to be able to attain anything because you just feel like crap all the time. So this gives you the ability to say, yeah, I really rocked it. I was really good at this. Or, yeah, this wasn't my best one. I found about halfway through that this was going to take me longer than I thought. And then you take that 13th week and you really look at it and you evaluate and you decide, does this one need to continue into the next 12 weeks? Did you attain it and you're good to go, or do you need to add to it? And again, the book is really great about sitting with you and showing you how to look at these things and talk about these things. And like I said, I think for some people, it's really great to be able to not have such a big goal that you feel like a complete loser if you're not able to meet that marker. as a business owner, for me personally, I think what I liked is like the flexibility of it. Again, that time period is short enough that I have the bandwidth, especially earlier in the year, to sit with this. But I could see as the year goes on, it would still be probably very attainable, as my energy level and my ability to show up as well as I do in the beginning of the year would still probably be there pretty accurately, because 12 weeks isn't a whole 365 days. So I highly recommend it. I just think that when I was thinking about what we should talk about today and some things that I think might be helpful, this came to mind as just an idea of something to look at and something to read. You can get it, at your local bookstores. You can get it on Audible. I like to read personally. I like to hold a book and read it. So for me, and also you can highlight the stuff. And like I said, there's prompts, there's pages where you can sit down and write stuff down. So having the physical copy might be more beneficial. But it's an easy read, doesn't take a whole lot of time. So I don't think that you should be super worried about being a busy human and still being able to get this done even in of itself. And as it is the beginning of the new year, I wanted to be able to give you a tip and a trick that will hopefully make it feel like it's something that you can do and be proud of yourself for doing, and not beating the crap out of yourself when you don't always hit those goals. We have to be very mindful as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as humans, right? That sometimes we come in with the best intentions and that isn't always the way it goes. And that's okay. This is what being human is all about, right? So this is also about giving yourself some grace and some kindness, and hopefully it helped. If you've read it, if you like it, if you hate it, either or, let me know. Leave me a comment. Please like and share with others. And if you have other ideas, or maybe you've tried this and you were like, man, it was a smashing success and I do it every year, please let me know. I'll keep you updated on whether or not I keep up the trash panda or if I actually make this successful. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a blessed new year, and I can't wait to see you again.